So guys, it's Christmas Eve, and it's kind of a muddy, kind of warm Christmas Eve. It's a few degrees above freezing, and my backyard was just really nasty. But this is my great-grandfather's workshop. It's really nice. It's a nice little workshop that he's had since, like, I don't know, 1930 or so. Now it's owned by my grandfather, and he's really changed it a lot. My great-grandfather used to have so much junk packed in here. And by junk, I mean really awesome stuff from like before World War II. Because basically my great-grandfather bought a few extra lots out there that he used as a big garden. And as he would dig things up, he'd just find the most interesting little things from old buildings that had been pushed down in that location and whatnot. And he would save it all. Well, my grandfather owns a house next to it, and he has a shed and a garage and stuff like that, so he doesn't have to have everything packed into here. So this little workshop's actually pretty open. He said that I can use it whenever I want, and he also said that I can start using like big portions of it as like a little mini machine shop. So I'm thinking about someday bringing in a lathe and a milling machine and having like a nice like bin full of metal and whatnot. Because he obviously wants to have a CNC or a lathe in here for woodworking. But anyway, onto the actual bicycle itself. I picked up this Ross at a thrift store for $5, and I really couldn't pass it up. It's really cool. It looks like Ross was a company that was in production of bicycles from about like 1948 to about like 1988 or so. And so I'd say this bicycle is probably from 1960s, most likely 1970s. It's obviously an older design. And I think it actually works pretty well on what I'm wanting to do of making kind of like a steampunky bicycle. Not like overly annoyingly tacky steampunk, but I've been collecting a lot of parts from cars from the 1930s and stuff like that here recently. I mean, like the past couple of years. And I've been wanting to have like big headlights and tail lights and stuff like that, and that'd be pretty cool. But before I really convert this bicycle to electric, the main change I would like to do is cut this bar. Because I like to get on a bicycle like that. Because going over the back doesn't work too well with an electric bicycle, because you have a battery box right where your foot's going to go. Plus, it's just nicer to step onto it like that. Well, I'm going to see about cutting this and having two bars go back to here, turn it into a Mixte. You might also have to fix a few things. There's some cracks and stuff going on, but we'll figure that out. Then the second thing I want to do in this video is I want to add a little bicycle rack on the back for holding the battery. This is a little ammo box that I think will work pretty well. It also has this little section on the top here that could work nicely to have like a little toolbox and stuff. Have some pliers and a little wrench and stuff like that, maybe a tube repair kit. Before I start cutting away on this though, I think the first step would be to clean it up really nice, because it looks like it just has a little bit of grime on it, but other than that, it's a nice little bicycle. It looks like it's just been sitting for a long time. The tires weren't even aired up whenever I got it. They were just all totally flat. It's been sitting for a while. These tires look like they're kind of crappy 1980s tires. It looks like it can hold balloon tires, so I'd also like to get some really nice big balloon tires for it. That'd be pretty cool. I'm pretty happy to see how thick the pipe is. A lot of the bikes that take apart are a lot thinner and really hard to weld. So I want to have a piece of angle iron on each side, angled like that, so 45-degree angle, so it's really stiff. There's a place where it perfectly fits into the back here. Just need to cut off a little bit of this, and then I think it'd be good to cut off a little bit more of this too, because I want this to be in the middle here, because we're going to have two pieces. And they're going to be on each side. I'll have to modify this chain guard here, so they're basically going to be right there, and they're going to meet up in the middle. And I'll probably pull it in a little bit right here. But yeah, I hope that can look. I hope that can look nice, and then it can also allow me to step over it like that. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Oh, that works wonderfully. Far better than that bar being there. And it actually stays on pretty well without any welds. That's really nice. This thing's so wobbly right now, though. Wow. Oh, that's just the back wheel. Never mind. Looks like the back wheel could use some bearings, but after all, this is a $5 bicycle, so that makes sense. Well, there went a little bit of chrome. Oh well. That'll wash off. So I cut it too small for the back, but it can fit in the front, so actually it fits pretty well in the front. That's good enough for me. Oh, hello there.
How are you? We just got in. Good, you found the right place to plug in.
Yep.
Yeah, plugging in, because this is the extension cord.
Yeah.
That's the best. You're doing great.
Look what I got. It turned into a Mixte. Because whenever I have the battery box on the back, it's always, you can't get your leg over the battery box.
Oh, yeah.
So I like to have the step through, but...
I had some welding rods. Could you use them?
I might be able to use them, but I'm a fan of MIGs now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Thank you very much for letting me use your workshop.
Not a problem. Yeah, if that thing over there, if it goes off, that's just carbon monoxide.
Yeah. I think I'm probably going to weld a little bit and then before I come and visit for a little bit, let it air out because there's a lot of like metal things in here.
That's fine.
It's getting a little smelly.
Yep, okay.
Okay. Well, I am pretty happy with that. This is going really nicely. Unfortunately, this workshop is pretty much full of fumes, so I'm going to open up these windows, and my grandparents just got home, so I'm probably going to go visit with them while this place airs out. Aren't these windows cool? They're glass slats from the 1930s. They're really neat. But whew, it smells like burning metal in here, because it is burning metal in here. Ugh. I picked up some of this angle iron for the back rack thing. It's not going to be that high, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half so we can have some right here and have some right here. Then I can bolt things to this. Well, hopefully bolt this battery box to it. Yeah, so let's cut this in half and try to get through this. I get that. I have that go down there.
Yeah.
I could easily do that, but.
And you're going to be moving up a little.
Yeah.
Now, that's pretty good.
Cool. Thank you very much. See, I think I could just take this and I can now bend it in.
Yep. But you can put a magnet behind it, and you can give it the same.
Ah, good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That way they're correctly spaced.
Now cooking with gas. And then I figure I'll just have some pieces going across here, you know, like that, and pop that over. I'm not used to having somebody else operate the camera for me. By the way, this is a really handy little wrench you found.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah. Did you add the magnet to it yourself?
No.
Oh, really?
No, it came just like that.
It came already.
The magnet fell off, and I super glued it on, but
yeah. It's a little bit too cold outside to paint this, so I'm going to do it in their basement, which actually is really clean. Far better than my basement. Well, that's probably too much black, but I plan to probably paint the entire frame nicely someday in the future anyway. So it's been about 24 hours, and the paint seems to have dried nicely. Although painting in the basement's kind of fucked up my throat. I feel like I have a kind of a sore throat since then. I was just getting over being sick too. Well, I'm really happy with this. This is going really well. I think it's time to put the fender and the chain guard back on. The chain guard will most likely have to be modified a little bit. Also, be sure to clean that up. But I think I'll have to cut a little piece off to make it fit. This is a bit tight, even whenever this is loose, because this is pretty loose right there. So I'm going to go ahead and file this a bit. Well, it is finished. I could see this being my new favorite bicycle. Actually, it already kind of is. Although I do like my 1960s roll fast. Yeah, this is really nice. I like the chrome. I'll definitely spend more time cleaning it up and stuff like that. I do like the rims, even though the bearings and stuff are going out on this wheel. Well, I guess it only goes back and forth a little bit. I'll definitely upgrade the tires. If you guys know of any good, like, nice, soft balloon tires I could get, please let me know. Or someday in the future I could see about not having a hub motor in the front and just having the original rim and wheel. And then on the back, I can have like a friction drive little brushless DC RC motor. That'd be kind of neat. Maybe hide a battery pack here or something, I don't know. So many ideas, so many ideas. It's going really nicely. Such a cool bike, I really like it. And I don't think it's too obvious what parts I added, at least judging by the paint job, even though some is starting to chip off, but oh well. Let's go for a little bike ride, because up here is actually the house where I grew up. It's been like the first 18 years of my life. Well, most of the first 18 years of my life, at least. God, I haven't ridden my bike over this stretch of really crappy sidewalk in a decade, actually. It's so weird to do that. So weird. This bike pedals really nicely. That's where I grew up. That house. Wow, they even sold the shed. That's so amazing. That's new. Yeah, that's my house. 100 Oak Street. That's where I've filmed a bunch of my videos and stuff like that. There used to be a road here that went back to the mine, but that was long gone. I wonder if the log cabin house is still back here. My friend lived in that one. Unfortunately, like 20 or 15 years ago, they covered over the log cabin with siding, which is a real shame. We used to always wonder what was in there, and we'd always about shit our pants riding down this hill because it felt like riding down Mount Everest. We were like 6 years old or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Oh yeah, the bike works fine. But I haven't been here in fucking years. Holy shit. It's so weird to go back to a place like this where you barely remember living here, but you've spent most of your life. That is very new. Probably owned by the guy down there that he's really big into demo derbies and stuff like that. Demolition derbies, and it's actually pretty cool. He's a pretty cool guy. There used to be a house right over here. This house was owned by a lady named Betty, and she would call me over almost every single day because she didn't know how to set her TV to line 1 for her like digital converter box, and so she'd call me over like almost every other day, which actually what it was is she just liked talking to me because she was really cool, but she didn't have any family. But I didn't mind being kind of like her family because she was almost like a grandma to me, at least. It was really cool. Yeah, this bike actually works really nicely. And the tires aren't even aired up. I think it has to do with the gearing ratio. Now let's just go down here. I think it has to do with the gearing ratio and how long the levers on the pedals are. This road is called Boss Road, I think, because way down there is a little cul-de-sac where the owners of the coal mine that made this town used to live back in the 1920s to the 1950s. That's good, Mai. Yeah, so Mai, I think the paint's doing okay.
I think it's doing very nicely.
Yeah. Well, I really killed my tripod. That's not much of a tripod anymore. So, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Back home and probably gonna try to get over being sick. I really like how that went. Some more of the paint is coming off, but this is just a temporary paint job. Hopefully in the next video I can be putting on the electric motor and adding a battery box to the back and making it an actual electric bicycle. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and thank you very much for watching. See ya!